amateur astronomers have used their telescopes and even amateur radio telescopes. There's big platforms up in space, things that make the... See, they've gotten rid of the space shuttle program because it's a 1930s idea of Werner von Braun, the Nazi, who then became one of the heads of NASA, who was the head of development, launched in the early 80s, 30-something years ago. That's just the public space program. And now that you're not into it anymore, they're like, we don't have a space program, go to sleep. The real space program, 80+% of it, has always been a clandestine program and belongs to the bankers with our money. And so that's all that's happening now. Since you're not into the fake space program and the $300 toilet seats and $700 hammers that is really being used for the black site government, since you don't even care about it anymore, they're just like, hey, Congress, we're not going to tell you what's at the NSA base. We're not going to tell you what's in the PDD-51. And we're not going to tell the public either. So sit down and shut up, and we're going to shoot your kids up even if you say no. Is that clear? You will take the shot. You will die of cancer. And the illegals are like leaving in many cases because America is collapsing. But they lie to us and say, oh, America is wonderful. The economy has turned around. Yeah, 20+ billion to ship General Motors to China and Brazil and Mexico and 3 different Eastern European countries. Man, it's great, isn't it? Everything's fine. There's nothing wrong with that picture. We just don't grasp how it's a great idea. The globalists they openly said they wanted to wreck our economy and post-industrial and teach us their enemy by destroying our economy and then inducting us into socialism. Just like France is going into deeper socialism right now. When socialism did to France what's happened to it, it's the same thing. Oh, that cyanide's making you sick? Here, let's shovel some more in your mouth. When we come back, whites all over the country are having their heads knocked in, and the media won't even say it's black people doing it when it is. The race war is on. Devil Whitey is getting what he deserves. I had tried everything. We've got to wake up. We've got to get out of our trance and realize just how crazy this tyranny has gotten. You know something? The media, MSNBC especially, NBC, editing the George Zimmerman tape to make it sound like he hated black people, hyping all this up, Jesse Jackson, all these people, they've got a job to get the American people fighting with each other instead of fighting with the globalists, instead of waking up to what's happening. This is a false flag. And I see articles every day now where white people at parks are having their head beat in, and there'll be a footnote in the article or at fairs or on their front porches. There'll be little footnotes that, well, yes, witnesses said it was a group of 20 or 30 black people doing it to a white person who begged and pleaded. And in some cases, the people are dying later. And the police will not even say the race in their report. That is mind control. Again, because the system wants white guilt, not to try to empower and build up black people. They want to keep them right where they are on the government reservation, the government plantation. But so they can say, you're guilty white people. Now support socialism and gun bans. Support world government. You're bad, pay carbon taxes. That's what all this guilt's about. This is a guilt system, making you guilty so you'll do what the New World Order wants. Look at this article right here. This is from WKRG News. Man beaten by mob in critical condition. Mobile police need your help to catch a mob that beat Matthew Owens so badly. Funny, when you're looking for a mob, they won't even say the race. Listen, so badly. I mean, I guess if it's a white guy, you can't say it either. Like, well, what color are the suspects? We cannot say. Just we're looking for some people. It actually gets into that in the article. Mobile police need your help to catch a mob that beat Matthew Owens so badly that he's in critical condition. Well, he's white. He deserves to die. What'd the Black Panthers say? Time to burn down America. Time to start killing some crackers. It turned out the Justice Department was in those protests leading them. the Justice Department that ships guns into Mexico to kill 2,000 plus Mexicans, hundreds of Americans, and 6 police officers, bare minimum, 3 of them Border Patrol agents. You mean they want to start a race war so they can pose and have Obama come out and say, no, we all need to be friends here. Even though Trayvon looks like my son. You mean those 12-year-old photos the media shows? Not the ones with him being a big man with a gold grill and all the rest of it? And then the black neighbor witness of Zimmerman's head bouncing up and down off the ground that Martin came over to him? Or the edited tape? I mean, regardless of who's at fault here. I see somebody walking around in the neighborhood, I'm not going to come out of my house and start following them. I think that was stupid. But the point is, why is the media hyping this? Because they want a race war. Because this is an enemy media. MSNBC definitely is. I mean, you talk about anti-freedom, talk about manipulative, talk about trying to have a globalist spring in America, race war spring. And out of the chaos poses the saviors. According to police, Owens fussed at some kids playing basketball in the middle of Del Mar Drive about 8:30 Saturday night. They say the kids left and a group of adults returned, armed with everything but the kitchen sink. Police tell News 5 the suspects used chairs, pipes, and paint cans to beat Owens. Must not be very tough. I mean, one man can kill somebody pretty easy. Of course, I guess he almost did kill him, but wow, how pathetic. You know, crowds of people can never, I've noticed, hurt somebody bad. It's one-on-one where the real fighting gets done. Owens' sister, Ashley Parker, saw the attack. Can't listen to her. She's a white devil, though. It was the scariest thing I have ever witnessed, Parker says that 20 people, all African-American, attacked her brother on the front porch of his home using brass knuckles. That's why the guy should have had a gun in there. Come to my door with brass knuckles. I don't care what color you are. You're going home in a body bag. Parker says 20, I bet this guy's a liberal. Again, it's always liberals that get beat up. I mean, somebody comes in here and I got a gun right here. I mean, it's like, goodbye. You're leaving the planet. Attack. See, watch what happens. Parker says 20 people, all African-American, attacked her brother on the front porch of his home using brass knuckles, paint cans, and anything they could get their hands on. Police will only say multiple people are involved. Of course, you don't. The police are like, help us find out who did it. Oh, well, what color are the suspects? I'm sorry. Well, are they Oriental, Asian, Hispanic, Inuit, Northern European, Jewish, Muslim, Arabic, Irish? We just can't say. Just, okay, but there's some people and we can't say. We can't say. We'll be right back.
We're on the march.
Well, speaking of MSNBC, now that they think they've demonized Ron Paul and they think that he won't win the Republican nomination, they're trying to gain credibility by reporting what is a fact. Ron Paul did, in fact, win Iowa and Minnesota after recounts. That was a dead giveaway whenever Karl Rove went on Fox and said some trucks with the ballots didn't get delivered. So we met behind closed doors with the top officials, and we decided that it would be Mitt Romney and then Santorum and then Paul. I mean, that's called hiding it in plain view. We decided to drop by your house and beat your head in with a baseball bat. So he really won Maine. That's even the New York Times admits that. I mean, he won Maine. But the Republican officials say we're not giving it to you. He won Iowa. He won Minnesota. And see, that was all early on. He would have gained the momentum. He was the front runner. And they kept saying, he can't win. He can't win. No one wants him. Forget he's winning the straw polls and scientific polls. He's going to lose. He's going to lose. He's going to lose. He can't win. And then when he started winning, they had to steal those. Then it began. Well, I guess he isn't going to win. Well, that's funny. All I see is Ron Paul stickers. He's got 10,000 or more people at all his rallies. And Mitt Romney can't even get 500. And Newt Gingrich can't even get 50 people. And Santorum can only get about 100. Well, wow, it's just weird. And he gets all the military donations, 70+%. And, you know, you really have thought, but I guess. And then as they stole all the states, Nevada, he clearly won. But we can't 100% prove that. We know, and now they admit it, he won Iowa, he won Maine, he won Minnesota. It's now admitted. But it's like back of the paper. See, up front, they didn't want you to know he wasn't just a contender. He was your president. He would have gotten the nomination. He would have defeated Obama. they probably would have put a bullet in him. And he was ready for that. He said he's ready to go all the way. But by going through the process, showing the cheating, showing the manipulation, we show the emperor is butt naked. He's not wearing a fine coat. And he educates people on the Federal Reserve, and we win. And he'll be at UT this Thursday. I bet there's 10,000 people out there. I know I'll have news crews out there. And, you know, his son was able to win because he won by, all the polls showed 15, 17 points or so. Bill Clinton went and campaigned against him, his numbers went up. They tried to block him out of early debates. You know, the Republicans went after him and the Democrats went after him. But Kentucky had such a landslide that they let Rand Paul in. That there's still some places where it can happen. You know, where Ron Paul's won congressional seat before by over 80%. Polls are showing he's getting 80+%. He wins by 61. You see, they can only steal him right now when it's 5, 10 points. Past that, and I've had top election fraud experts on from every angle. The Collier brothers before they died, the Collier brothers' one of the Collier brothers' daughter, all the investigators, Bev Harris, on and on and on. I went and worked at elections in state elections, in 94, 96, 2000. I was there. I saw Pat Buchanan winning Travis County. He got, I think it was like 3, 4%, I forget, on the news at the end of the night. He won Arizona. That fraud came out. Pat Buchanan was who people wanted to run against Bill Clinton. And the system's like, no, we're going to run a corpse. We're going to run Bob Dole, and he's going to take a fall. I mean, it would be like putting a 10-year-old child in the ring with Mike Tyson. And they did it. It was a Don King fight. It was totally rigged. And you know what? Don King ran enough rigged fights. People don't watch him anymore. Pay-per-view's a joke. A new sport came along that was real and not rigged. And I'll tell you, UFC is not rigged at all. And it's wildly popular like boxing used to be. Because there's 5 or 6 different groups competing, and competition with the different leagues brings reality. Monopolies bring stagnation. So, hey, Don King, you know, arrested for murder, all this stuff, gangsterism. People finally figured out these are staged fights. They weren't back during the Muhammad Ali days, but later they became rigged because they wanted to make even more on the rigged gambling than they were making on the pay-per-view, so you killed the golden goose. Globalism is the killing of the golden goose. Mafia, insider, cronyism is the death of everything good. And so we've got the clip. It's up at Infowars.com, where Rachel Maddow, you know, admits, Mr. Maddow admits that Miss Maddow or Mrs. Maddow, whatever it is, or the guy from Saturday Night Live, Pat. The point is that they're now admitting it after they've done it. Oh, look, it was rigged. Like you're not part of the rigging and the editing of tapes to make Zimmerman sound racist. I mean, you guys are caught, okay? Nobody's coming to your fights anymore. Nobody's watching you anymore. You're a shadow of your former self, and soon you'll be a memory of a shadow. You're gone. So try to shut the web down, try to intimidate people, blow up some more federal buildings and blame it on us. It isn't going to help you, New World Order. It is, and you know that. That's why Brzezinski's new book, he elaborates on what he said 2 years ago. He said the people are awake, they're aware of the elite, and there's a quote in there. You can pull it up because it's actually on the Amazon synopsis. To paraphrase it, and this is almost exact, he said, 30 years ago, it was cheaper to just spend $1 million convincing people to go along with your program. Now it's cheaper just to pay $1 million to kill 1 million people. Guys, pull up the exact quote because I butchered that. I'm trying to get it exactly right. The point is, he said,